Be advised, the opinions and views of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Okay, before we go on with the subject matter for this episode, which is going to be very important and very interesting, we received thank you from Marvin Regalado, who has received the DVD we promised we would send to them about the 9/11, and also from Moires Gatdula, and many more will be receiving theirs as the days go by. We also received the request for the book and the DVD of or CD of Senator Ilarde. Last week we had an episode with Senator Ilarde on the seniors, the hope of the future. And we received from Ms. Corazon T the request, and maybe the others will text us also who are interested to receive these materials. Okay. And our episode last week was Seniors, the Hope of the Future. But it depends on what kind of seniors. This week we had some seniors who got entangled in this brawl with one of our juniors. Specifically, the seniors are Juan Ponce Enrile and DFA Secretary Albert Del Rosario. And they're both in their 70s or 80s, and of course Senator Trillanes is just 40 years old.
41.
No? 41 years old. But more important than the personalities are the issues, and I think nagkagulo na sa issues because there was a deliberate, clear move to divert the original issue, which our guests will explain, to this highly controversial, very heated and inflammatory issue of Philippine-China relations over the Scarborough. And in fact, a violation of our national security was committed by one of the parties, and that was not Senator Trillanes, in openly discussing what are state secrets, and this is, of course, is not the first time this has happened and committed by some of the politicians. But we also have, we will have also a journalist with us in this episode. He is the most senior of the guests, so I'll begin with our regular analyst in many issues here, Mr. Rod Kapunan, who writes for the Manila Standard, and he is an author. In fact, he just gifted me with a book. He didn't want to show it, but I was proud to have it. A book on martial law, which is also very timely. Maybe we can ask for a short comment from the former political prisoner, Rod Kapunan. So he should be angry with Marcos, but he has a different view now. We'll have a brief message from him later on the book that he has written. And so that's Rod Kapunan, the most senior in our panel. And of course, we have ladies first, Miss Gayla Batong. And we've had her before on discussions of Marcos martial law and so on. But today she will be discussing the legislative accomplishments of the office of Senator Trillanes, because we have been hearing from all these critics of Senator Trillanes that he has done nothing. Well, we will hear it from the horse's mouth, so to speak, and list down how many, which are the most important and most that have most impact on the welfare of the different sectors. We also have one of the officers of the Magdalo, who is now a civilian. I'm correct, yes, I was with them for 5 days in the brig. It's called the brig and we slept in the same cells. We were locked in until 6 o'clock in the morning, before the door would be opened. Doon lang sa ating quadrangle, o yung exercise area. But we were locked in a bigger perimeter fence. Of course, I'm referring to Cash Cabuchan. Ang ginagawa ni Cash noon, every morning siya ang religiously tumatakbo, paikot-ikot doon sa... But later on, I started doing some Tai Chi. Hindi ba? You tried to start Tai Chi also. So, I did Tai Chi in the 3rd or 4th day. The 5th day, na-release na ako. So, we have a lot to talk about. But I'll go to the elder first. But not as elder as the others were talking about. Let's get Rod Kapunan's assessment of this imbroglio between Enrile Del Rosario and Senator Trillanes.
Well, to be honest, I really have yet to be clarified what really happened. But at any rate, if my assessment is correct, if Senator Trillanes was given the authority by the President to go to China in what Senator Enrile termed as backdoor negotiation, there is no problem. He was given the authority. The problem is if he was disowned by Malacanang.
Okay.
So, whatever was the outcome of that negotiation, Enrile should keep that a secret. It's not supposed to divulge what transpired in that negotiation. After all, it was a backdoor, as I said, negotiation. That should be between Enrile and Noynoy, not between Enrile and Senator Trillanes.
Well, Senator Trillanes has said very emphatically that he was authorized. Although Lacerda says the controversy was whether he asked for the assignment or he was given the assignment. I think Cash had a clarification for that. Go ahead, Cash.
Yes, sir. I think if Senator Trillanes was authorized by the Palace or by Malacanang, it really doesn't matter who
initiated it.
Even if it is Senator Trillanes initiating, how can I help you? Or the Malacanang through the executive secretary asking the senator for help in the Scarborough issue. It really doesn't matter as long as he was authorized. In the first place, Malacanang can always say no if they don't want to authorize the Trillanes.
Okay, we'll get to Gayla and her reaction to this, then we go back to our senior member of the panel. Gayla, anything to add to that?
Yes, actually, Senator Trillanes' privileged speech had nothing to do with the Scarborough Shoal issue, but it was a prelude to Senator Trillanes' request that he transfer his membership from the majority bloc to the minority bloc of the Senate. And it was a reaction to the Camarines Sur bill, which he perceives to be gerrymandering practice.
Yes, we'll go to that. We'll focus on that after we ask Rod for his additional comment. You were going to say something.
Actually, just following what Gayla said, I don't know if there was something wrong in that in the reaction of Senator Trillanes, because it is obvious that what the politicians in Camarines North are doing is gerrymandering. It's clear gerrymandering. They want to accommodate one fellow who happens to be the son of a former president. Siyempre, magre-react. Even assuming na yung sinasabi ni Enrile na ni Senator Trillanes, medyo nasaktan siya, Senator Enrile is not supposed to react. Una-una, hindi naman siya tigaron eh. Ang interest, it became obvious na ma-interest siya, it became obvious. So the allegation of Senator Trillanes, when he said that Senator Enrile is still in touch with the former president, became obvious because Senator Enrile, nag-init ka agad eh. In defense of that resolution. Eh kung nanahimik na lang siya, di hindi pa siya nabibisto.
If he had defended that resolution at that moment, then he was responding. He would have been responding to the issue.
Yeah.
But actually, he never did respond. There was nothing he said that was relevant to the issue. So, anong totoo? Nilihis niya. Nilihis niya ang issue by creating a shock and awe effect with this Trillanes nagbabakdoor when there was nothing wrong. So, kung meron diyang nadadala doon sa gimmick ni Enrile, kailangan pag-isip-isipan nila na pasakay sila. Di ba? Is that the word sa Filipino? Napasakay sila doon sa panlihis ni Enrile. Yeah, Ron.
Kasi precisely nga, ang inaano dyan, ang dinideflect niya yung pagpunta sa issue ng Scarborough, Panatag Islands. Yun ang naging doon. Pero, kahit man din, hindi siya dapat nag-init doon dahil ang dinidikdik niya ni Trillanes something to do with gerrymandering nga.
Yun na nga.
Dapat sinagot na lang yon.
Okay.
O kaya, tanahimik siya.
So, baka sa publiko, yung term na gerrymandering na hindi naintindihan, ano bang gerrymandering na, Ron?
Well, ang gerrymandering, kung tatagalogin natin, may distrito. Dahil meron sa influential na politician, hinahati yan. Kasi ang gerrymandering kasi, ang prinsipo ng gerrymandering, hayop yan Salamander yan Pag pinutol mo buntot yan, nabubunga uli.
Saan lang? Yung gerrymander is a kind of salamander.
Yes.
Parang tuko.
Oo.
Tuko yan, di ba?
Oo. Nabubutol ulit kayo.
Yung tuko kasi, putulin mo ang buntot,
mabubuhay
yan.
haba uli. Ganun na nangyayari. Yung gerrymandering na yun, hinahati
American term yan. American political
hinahati
term.
isang distrito para maisama ngayon.
Para mapagbigyan na naman ng isang politiko.
Yes. Precisely.
Ano nangyayari dyan sa Camarines Sur?
Well, hindi
ang mga angkan dyan, political clans are Andaya, Villafuerte, Fuentebella, at nadagdagan ng Arroyo ngayon dahil si Tato Arroyo. Yung si El Ray Villafuerte na congressman dati ba? Hindi, governor, tatakbo. Walang lugar, kundi haharap kay Dato Arroyo, ganyan ba? Imbis na maglabanan yung dalawa, ay dagdagan na lang ng distrito. Ganyan. Ganyan klase yung mga politiko natin, di ba? So, importante yon na yung sabi ni Gayla, the original issue was really the trapo political gerrymandering na may tawag daw, sabi ni Trillanes, si Gloria Arroyo kay Enrile. Tama ba? May call, asking for that favor. Kaya si Enrile nire-railroad yung gerrymandering. So, siguro ayaw niya pag-usapan talaga. Now, may question ako to everybody. I don't know. I've thought about it, no? Kasi, kung mapag-isipan ito, talagang magsususpecha tayo. Bakit handa na siya doon sa, sa confidential notes ni Sonia Brady? Di ba? Pinaghandaan niya yung kanyang buwelta doon sa tanong tungkol sa Camarines Sur. Do you see anything in that? So you don't see what I see. What I see is, pinag-usapan nila, ano strategiya natin para makaiwas dito sa Camarines Sur? Anong strategiya natin para panira? Ito ba? Na siya ay traidor, si Trillanes, di ba? Pero, of course, I'm giving my analysis. I wanted to get your reaction. What is very clear here, and I want to get your reaction, all these notes are confidential, di ba? Anong nangyari? Because ito'y nabulgar. Yung conflict, kung conflict man yun, kasi pwedeng sadya naman ng isang gobyerno yan na you have good cop, bad cop. Kung bad cop sa China si Del Rosario, good cop si Trillanes, kasama yan. Nung binulgar mo, binulgar ni Enrile, lumabas na parang, itong mga Pilipino, hindi pala nagkakaisa, hindi nagkakasundo. Di ba? What's your reaction, Rod? Baka ayaw mag-react ng dalawa kasi maingat sila dahil...
Well, actually, wala akong gaanong dyan. Hindi ko alam yan Brady na confidential report ni Brady. Kaya, cannot really talk about it kung ano laman nun. Ang masasabi ko lang, Senator Enrile, whatever confidential it is, dapat inaano niya, ini-inquire niya sa presidente, dinidiretso na sa presidente. Ang presidente magre-reveal sa kanya niyan. Hindi yung sarili niyang inisyatibo yun. Kasi, yun lang, ganun lang kasimple yun eh. It is also a sign of respect to the President. So, if there is any wrongdoing or perhaps statement issued by Senator Trillanes contrary to our national interest, you should report that matter to the President, course that to the President. That's it. Pero I really do not know kung ano ba talaga ang sinabi doon, ano what is the report. But whatever it is, the issue should babalik dapat sa issue ng Camarines Sur. Kasi yun ang
Mukhang nakalimutan na ng media. What can you say to that, Gayla? Are you able to bring back and refocus on that issue?
Yeah, let me also add that even as early as Monday, perhaps there was already a tension then kasi Senator Trillanes made reservations to interpolate the CAMSUR bill and then he wasn't present last Monday because he injured himself.
Anong injury yan? Anong injury?
I think it has something to do with his...
Nadapa sa exercise? We have no detail?
I have no details, sir.
No.
However, he was called coward by the Senate President
Nung Lunes.
in the Senate plenary session.
Kailan nangyari ulit itong banggaan? Wednesday.
Yes,
So
sir.
Monday ito.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. And then Tuesday, Senator Trillanes could not make it to the session again because of the injury. And then Wednesday, that's when we made reservations for Senator Trillanes'
Na
privilege
makapagsalita
speech.
siya.
Yes, sir.
So may reservation na gagawin pa bago ka magkapag-privilege
Yes.
speech. Okay.
By the way, let me add to that. I think it was an unparliamentary remark made by the Senate President. They're supposed to say that.
Kaya pala Miyerkules, mainit na ang dalawa. Kasi tinawag na palang coward ni Enrile si Trillanes.
And
Very
the usual
parliamentary
practice
remark,
in the
yeah.
Senate is that if a member makes reservation for interpellation and he is not present in the Senate, then the Senate accords courtesy to him. They suspend consideration of the measure.
So what happened after Monday na hindi nakarating si Senator Trillanes? Tinutulak na ni Enrile na maaprobahan? Yung bang nangyari? O?
Yes.
Oh, that was the ano. So, parang pinapalusot na niya habang hindi makarating si Senator Trillanes.
But unfortunately, there was no quorum then at the time.
Also,
already.
no quorum. So, hindi din pwede talagang ipasa. So, yung pala ang dahilan kung bakit si Trillanes sinasabi na nire-railroad. Ano?
And I think even as early as after the SONA, there was already a move to ram the measure.
After the SONA. Oo. So, ito ang laro ng mga trapo, ano, which I think it's very clear Senator Trillanes would not stand for. Ano. Okay, anything to add, Cash?
It came as a surprise, sir, that before the morning, I guess, of the morning before the privilege speech, sir.
Before the morning of Wednesday?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
There was it came out in the newspapers that there was that Senator Trillanes was back channeling for the Scarborough issue.
Okay.
And then and it was also a surprise that when he delivered his privilege speech and resigned from the majority to join the minority, it was the time that the Senate President made the issue of him as the negotiator.
Okay. So, before nagkaroon ng Senate session na nagsalita si Enrile at binasa yung mga parts ng notes ni Sonia Brady, yung umagang yon nasa dyaryo na yung issue ng backpedaling. So, pinaghandaan talaga, may nilik na, and so on. So, wag isipin ng taong bayan na ito spontaneous kay Enrile. Planado. Ano? And doon sa pagpaplano nitong pagbaling ng issue kay Trillanes, kailangan tingnan natin kung sinong involved. Bakit ito ang isyong pinili? One of the things that finally came out is that sabi ni Senator Trillanes, si Manny Pangilinan, na may nilalakad na negotiation para sa oil exploration and exploitation sa China, sa CNOOC, CNOOC, China's largest petroleum company. According to Senator Trillanes, may ginagawang coordination itong si Manny Pangilinan at si Ambassador Del Rosario. Na ginigipit ni Ambassador Del Rosario yung sitwasyon ng China in relation to the territorial dispute, and the implication is para may leverage si Pangilinan doon sa negotiation. Actually, I have it in my column in opinion next week, yung mga ilang detalye. Ang naging reaction naman ni Pangilinan na lumabas yesterday or today, meaning Thursday or Friday, lumabas, na liar si Trillanes. Dahil kung kaibigan, and I will explain later, ni Pangilinan si Del Rosario, bakit kung siya ay nagne-negotiate sa China, pahihirapan niya ang China sa negotiation sa kay Del Rosario. So, ang tingin ko dyan, yung paggigipit dito, makakatulong sa kanyang negotiation nga, leverage nga. Any reaction? It's a bit complex, no? Pero, paano naman magiging hari ng Pilipinas sa sa tubig, kuryente, infrastructure, yung si Manny Pangilinan, kung hindi ganyang kalalim ang mga laro niya. But, again, to be fair to the audience, why would Manny Pangilinan have that much influence kay Del Rosario? Well, I did my research until 3 a.m., a whole night. All the companies of Manny Pangilinan that are known doon sa internet, nakaupo itong si Del Rosario. The information also is, it is Del Rosario, our foreign secretary, who, by the way, DFA insiders keep telling me, may green card yan, green card holder yan. And that should be investigated. I cannot obtain the evidence, syempre. I'm just a journalist. And so I'm waiting for the evidence, yung card mismo, ma-xerox nila. Ayaw ko kung paano nila makuha. But, so, ganyang kalalim ang relasyon ni Manny Pangilinan and ni Del Rosario. Si Del Rosario daw nagpakilala kay Manny Pangilinan, kay Salim, yung Indonesian tycoon. Si Del Rosario is also on the board of Indofood, PT Indofood, Indonesia Food, yung kumpanya ni Salim, kung saan si Pangilinan ay isa sa mga kasama din doon sa Indofood as nakaupo sa PTIC, Philippine Telecommunication Investment Corporation ni Manny Pangilinan, which owns 46% of PLDT, na lumalabas sa desisyon ng Korte Suprema ay illegal dahil it is more than 40%. A foreign company is not allowed by the Constitution, and a long list of companies. They can read that on my in my column in Opinion. You can buy that at National Bookstore, Fully Booked, and some other bookstores. Okay, we have 2 minutes before the break. I'll go to Gayla. Anything to add?
Perhaps as regards the accomplishments of the Senator.
Mamaya na. We'll go to that second part. Rod, any before our break?
Well, I really don't know much about that revelation of yours. That's why I cannot really add. But if it is true, it's something that the government should investigate.
Yung green card, isa?
Yes, that is most
yung relasyon doon kay Manny Pangilinan?
Well, most probably before. There is nothing wrong with that before he was appointed as Secretary of Foreign Affairs. But what is rather damaging to us is that we have a Secretary of Foreign Affairs who is an American citizen, an alien. And that is most dangerous.
Green card ba? Citizen na, hindi pa?
Not necessarily, but it is one step towards citizenship.
Ang narinig kong ibang justification, pwede naman dual citizenship daw, di ba? So, problematic talaga yan.
Well, that's the problem that Angara and his group created. Because, the idea of dual citizenship is good, but the problem is that the other party doesn't bother to recognize that.
Okay, sige. We'll have to take our break, and so it's really going to be very interesting and important for us to continue watching this conclusive part ng ating discussion today. You're doing very well.